Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel for everything Arsenal and everything football. Thanks for being here. I hope you're all doing well. And welcome to the match preview, match build-up, and opposition preview for Arsenal's trip to Turf Moor to face Burnley. The Premier League games keep coming thick and fast every single week. In fact, the last 5 days, Burnley have played twice. We've had a week's rest, so we might be better off. But anyway, we have a Europa League match next week, so it's kind of balanced out, but I think we'll be more fresher than them. So I have Simon from Toughcast Podcast with me. How are you, mate?
I'm good, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
No problem, and thank you for making time. So interesting game, this one. Obviously, we'll cover the last time we faced off back in November, I think, when you beat us. The last few meetings are tough, more between the two teams. And yeah, I'll just ask Simon about his preferred lineup for the game, prediction, and all that. So let's be honest, the last few games, before that, let me just ask you someone first. What have you made of your season so far? Are you where you expected to be? Did you expect to be higher? Did you expect to be lower?
Good question. To be fair, at the beginning of the season, I would have expected to be higher.
Yeah.
We are a team that now considers ourselves to be established. We would like to start pushing away from being relegation scrappers and maybe mid-table contenders consistently now. So that's where we would want to be, especially we've qualified for Europe in recent times. So we are underachieving in where at the beginning of the season's aspirations. However, how bad we started this season and where we are now, we would have snatched your hand off for that at the beginning because we're doing quite well in the league considering how poor we started the season.
Yeah. So I always, if there's a team that is always okay, Burnley and Newcastle usually anytime you get to 17th, 18th, there's usually no team that no one expecting you to get relegated. I
No.
always feel like Sean Dyche has something, maybe a set piece for Wood somewhere, maybe a good away win away at the top six club or something. I've seen you do it away to United a couple of times. He did it away to Arsenal this season. You've done it away to Liverpool. So that takes us nicely to the next topic, Simon. Results so far. I'll have your results. Let me go through your form first. I'm scrolling down the bottom right now. As you can see at the bottom, Burnley has played 27 games this season, 7 wins, 8 draws, 12 losses. You've scored 19 goals. You've conceded 35. You have a goal difference of minus 16. You're currently 15th. No one expects you to get relegated, and 29 points so far, picking up one last night against Leicester. So 7 wins so far this season. I know what your answer is going to be. So, what has been your best result so far this season?
Well, it has to be Liverpool away. I mean, you probably consider Arsenal to be up there, but at the time we played you, you was in a serious dip in form. I think you were struggling at the time. But Liverpool away, we were the first team to win there in years. I can't remember exactly how many games it was now. I should know that. But Liverpool
4 years or something.
4 years, yeah. Liverpool away has got to be the biggest result.
And let me make it harder for you. What about the home results, which has been your best result at home?
Oh, gosh. Do you know what? They've all been slightly underwhelming. There's not been anything that sort of stand out to me. If we had the fans at home, it's a bit of a fortress. But I think we struggled at home to make it as strong as we would do previously. I'll just go sort of like quickly through the results because I'm trying to like rack my brains on which is the biggest home win. We had a poor game against West Brom, really poor at home. Fulham, Brighton.
I have a couple of home wins for you. Crystal Palace 1-0 win. You beat Wolves 2-1. You beat Aston Villa 3-2. So
do you know what? Yeah, I'll give it to the Villa game because we were down. We came from behind. It's the first time we've done that in such a long time. We have quite a poor record when we go 1-0 down. So I think go on. It's probably a good point, but I think it just emphasises how poor our sort of season's been when I can't even think of a standout performance at home.
Don't worry, we are kind of the same as you. Like, I don't even remember the last time we won at home. Like, it's rare these days. We don't even score that many goals. What about the worst result? What has been your worst result, home or away this season? Which result was the most painful one?
Oh, there's a few for different reasons. So obviously you would think that the Man City 5-0 would be a massive thing, but we're used to that now. That's kind of a standard score. We could pencil that in at the beginning of the season. Burnley are going to get beat 5-0 at City. West Brom 0-0. Now you'd think probably not, but we offered nothing. They had 10 men. It was a serious opportunity to push ourselves away from the relegation battle, and we didn't capitalise on it. That's got to be up there as one of the worst for me. Just looking back through some of them now, Chelsea again. You'd expect us to get beat against Chelsea. There's been cup games that have disappointed me more than that, but yeah, we'll go West Brom just for the sheer magnitude of what we could have done with that result, and we didn't do it.
Yeah, they had 10 men like since the first half, and you guys, they actually should have beaten you. The chances Pereira had in that game. So a couple of the games you've lost at home against the teams that have beaten everyone, like City, 21 wins in a row. They beat everybody. United just edged you at home. Chelsea, obviously, Tottenham, all of those teams, like the bigger top 6 teams are the ones that have beaten you. So those are your results so far. Thank you for that, like your best result and worst result so far this season. So I'll put your fixtures, upcoming fixtures on screen right now. I can see you have Arsenal at home, and then Everton away, and then Southampton away, and then Newcastle at home, United away. To be fair, these teams, I remember you getting a result at Old Trafford. I think the last 2 times you've gone there, they beat you marginally at the start of the season. Newcastle, not the best of teams this season. Southampton, they're losing to every single team right now. Everton away. Everton at home, they've been very terrible this season. All their results are away from home. And obviously, Arsenal, you know about us, like we haven't been all that. So 15 available points, Simon. How many would you be hoping for from those 15?
I'll probably go down the middle there with that one, because there's a couple of big games. Yourself, United. I mean, Everton, let's make no mistake about it. They're not to be sniffed at, especially now their injured players are returning. They look a different team when they've got a full 11. So I would expect results against Newcastle at home. I would expect a result, current form against Southampton. It's where we can nick a draw somewhere in the middle of that. But to be honest with you, Arsenal at home, it's you've suddenly picked up form, but at home I feel like we are difficult to beat. I know there's no standout performances, but we're a difficult team to beat.
So how many points are you going for from
7.
those 15? 7. So 2 wins, 1 draw, and 2 defeats. Okay, I can definitely see you beating Newcastle. I wouldn't be surprised if you go to United and draw, and then you lose, let's say, to Southampton away or something. I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm expecting that Southampton game to be 1-1. So those are your upcoming fixtures. Not the hardest. There's a time I had someone on and they had like City, Liverpool, United coming up in the next 5, and they're like, I don't know. So let's get into the recent meetings against each other. So as you can see, I don't know if you remember that it was Arsene Wenger's, I think, last home game or something a couple of years ago. That was, I think, Aubameyang's debut season or something. So the last 5 games we've traveled to Turf Moor. We've won 4 and we've drawn 1. You've not won any, but you've recently beaten us at the Emirates. The thing with Arsenal and Burnley, I remember at least the last 5 seasons when you came back, I think it was 2017. When you came back up, there's a season you missed out.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I thought you meant when we came back in the game.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, there's a season in the championship. Was it 2016, 2017?
Yeah, we were champions then, weren't we? 23 undefeated that year, so I should remember it, but yeah.
Yeah. So when you got promoted back since then, I remember there's been so many all over the place games against between these teams, controversial games. I remember, for example, when Koscielny scored with his hand, VAR days that wouldn't have stood, definitely. I remember there's a time we also got a penalty in the 90th minute, both at home and away. Sanchez scored. Also recently, Aubameyang scored an own goal. He picked up a red card. So a lot of controversial games. Any game that you remember, definitely Burnley against Arsenal?
Oh gosh, the Burnley and Arsenal thing isn't a real rivalry as such, but as a Burnley fan, it's becoming a rivalry because you keep nicking it from us. It's not like you said, there was the handball on the line. I think there was one of the goals that you mentioned. I think he was 94th minute of 3 minutes added. There was we seemed to get robbed of results against Arsenal. So it's not necessarily a rivalry, but it's one of them games where we feel we are owed a win. We're due a win at home against you guys.
You're very right. Like at home that season, we got a penalty in the 94th minute, and also away, we also got a penalty in the 93rd minute. The next season, we scored with the hand in the 94th minute. So a lot of controversial games between these two teams. So Arsenal against Burnley, Simon. What are you expecting from this game? As you said, both teams have not been in the best of forms. Probably expect it to be higher. We expect it to be higher. So do you expect it to be like a tight game, 1-0 again, a 0-0? Or high scoring game, both teams going for it?
I think that at the minute, looking at the way you're playing in the last couple of games, I mean, that 3-1 result against Leicester, albeit there was injuries, it was just that turn. It was like a switch had just turned on for you guys, and something happened, and that's quite worrying against a team like us. If we do go 1-0 up, it would be automatic of us to sit back and try and defend that, and I don't know if we could keep you out for the rest of that game. I think if we're going to win it, we will have to hold you out as long as we can and then try and steal it. I don't think going 1-0 up early on against a team like Arsenal will do us any favours at all.
It also helps that I think in the last 3 games we've come back from behind to win, so that kind of helps us. I never see Arsenal as such kind of a team like the way United do it every single week, coming from behind. But recently, there's been a good form, as you said. We've picked it up recently, at least. Let me ask you about your style of play. If someone asked you today, and someone comes and they're watching their first ever football match, what would you, and they want to support Burnley, what would you say your style of play is?
Well, we're known as a long ball team. People would say that we just hoof the ball, but we are very physical. There's no doubt about that. But we've got quite low booking points. I can tell you off the top of my head. I could look it up for you, but we don't actually have that many points of yellow cards and red cards to get combat. We're actually quite low, so we don't foul as often as people think. But we are very physical. We're quite a big team. We do like to play the channels. We do like to hold the ball up and play for free kicks and throw-ins. But if you're after attractive football and playing it out from the back, then Burnley is probably not the team for you to support, if that's what you're watching.
So let me go to your starting lineup. The thing with Burnley, I know you have favorite players and stuff, but I wanted to ask you about a couple of positions or 3 positions. At right back, how is Bardsley? Will he still be here next season? Do you guys want him to be here, or Loughton is the definite first choice? At left back, I've had Peters in my fantasy Premier League team, I think, a couple of times the last 2 seasons. So is he the better one? Is it Taylor? On the right, on the left, McNeil, or I think I'm saying the name right, Goodmanson, the Icelandic player. So which one is the best in each of those positions?
So the starting lineup is quite predictable at the minute for Burnley. We are quite low on numbers. I think this is one of the first times in Sean Dyche's reign that we've been using youth team players to fill the gaps and not just putting them on the bench, but actually using them. So we are low on numbers, but the strongest team we have would be Pope in goal, Loughton on the right. Definitely, he's a contender for our player of the season at the minute. He's playing really, really well. He scored that goal that's up for nomination for goal of the month this week. I think that was announced tomorrow. And then we've got Tarky and me. Them 2 together are solid. I think it's Premier League. Know how good them 2 are together. Charlie Taylor at the left back is by far the better player out of the 2, but he has had an injury sort of doubts in the last few games. Come back, starting to find his feet. So he's not 100% yet, but he's played 2 or 3 games now in a row, so he should be getting thereabouts. McNeil on the wing, probably our best player on his day. Not quite firing this season, if I'm brutally honest. I don't think he's. I don't know whether the club as a whole is not firing or whether opposition have just thought he's the main threat. Let's stop it. But one positive is we have Brady and Goodmanson fighting for the other wing. Now, people will have debates for both of them. For me, it's Goodmanson over the 2, and apparently they're both fighting to be fit for this weekend's game. So we hopefully will see one of them 2 back as well on the wing.
And then up front, is it Wood, Barnes, Vidra, Rodriguez?
Oh yeah, we've got some options at the minute at the top, but none of them are actually successful as we would like them to be. But Chris Wood's been our top goal scorer for 3 years in a row. He's got 4 this season, so that's quite low. But he's still the top goal scorer, so it shows it's not just the player; it's the team. So Wood and Vidra played against Leicester. They both played well, but Vidra got the goal. Wood could have. I don't know. Wood didn't score. Schmeichel was on fire. So. Yeah, it'd be Wood and Vidra for tomorrow's. For Arsenal game on Saturday.
A lot of injuries. Brady has been kind of injury prone the last few years. I think Barnes has also been injured this season. Wood as well has been injured the last few games. I really like your defenders, though, especially in the attacking areas. Tarkowski, like in terms of heading the ball, that's the one position I think if you're not careful, you'll definitely score from, because I don't think we have that strength. Like, we'll put Bellerin on a Tarkowski and we won't have a chance. So the deliveries. Let me tell you guys something. If you bought someone like a Maddison, someone who's a Ward-Prowse, very, very good at set pieces, I think you'll be scoring like 60 goals from corners every single season because of their deliveries and stuff. You need someone like that. If you get a player like that, that would be amazing. So for me, starting lineup, I think for you, Laughton, very good player. I think he scored his first goal like in years recently. Peters going forward, all of them really, really good at crossing and all that. I don't know if it's 100% good, but in terms of crossing the ball, McNeil and all of them, pretty good. So what else are you expecting from Arsenal this season? Not this season, but this game. Who are you afraid of most?
Hey, gosh, what a good question that is. Aubameyang's had a bit of a dip on this season. He's, I'd expect him to come back. Sorry, mate. Sorry. Go outside. I can't do it. I'm doing something. I can't. Go and ask Louis to do it. Louis to do it. Shut that door. Shut the door. Just it. Sorry, the kids go. I thought I'd done well. They hadn't shouted up. So I'll start that again. So what was the question again? Who am I most scared of? Okay, so it's a good question. Who am I most scared of? We are. So you've got the players to do damage to us, let's be fair. But Aubameyang's not had the best of seasons so far, and he's due a turnaround any time, and hopefully it's not against us. But I'm definitely still concerned about Aubameyang, no matter how poor of a season you guys think he's had. Pepe's done some good fast breaks, and we're not the fastest team. So if he started, I'd be concerned about his pace. But let's be fair, you've got a team full of stars, mate. There's not much that we can't be cautious of. You can all do the job.
The one thing I'll predict in this game is that you guys will score from a corner or a free kick, and will score from a counter-attack from one of your corners, maybe Pepe running. Really depends who we start with as well. You guys have injuries, not sure who's going to start. For us, we have Europa League. Maybe you're taking the Europa League more seriously since the league, some people have already given up on it. So we might end up resting the likes of Smith Rowe and stuff. But bad thing for you is that Saka and Aubameyang rested the last game, so they're fresh for this one and they'll definitely start. So I think it will be interesting. So prediction time, Simon. What is your prediction for the game?
I think if we're I'm always an optimist. If anyone watches Turfcast, they'll know that I'm the one. I've never predicted a Burnley loss. So not because I don't think we will, but because I try and be optimistic. So I'm thinking if we are going to beat Arsenal at home, it will have to be a 1-0. I don't think we're going to turn up root trees and get 2 or 3 past you. I think it will be a 1-0. Probably a set piece, or let's be fair, hopefully a David Luiz slip or a bad pass out from the back. But if we're going to beat you, it's going to have to be a 1-0 fight. I don't think it's going to be, 3-2 game. Let's put it that way.
You're literally the third person the last 3 opposition previews have done who has said they're hoping for a mistake from Luiz. When he played Benfica in the Europa League, they said the same thing, hoping David Luiz gives away a penalty. And the last game against Leicester, hoping for Vardy to be fouled by David Luiz. I don't know. I think he's been our best defender this season. Yes. I actually do think he's our better defender right now. I know Paul don't want him here because of the age and stuff. I think he's very good. I'm sorry, Simon, but I'm going to go for a 3-1 win. I think we had kind of the same result the time we played you in the final game of 2019, I think, when Aubameyang was chasing the golden boot, and I think he got a couple or 3 goals that day, I think, or something like that. I think Barnes as well. Barnes, I think, has got like 5 goals against us. So if he misses out, that would be a good thing for us. He always scores against us, home or away. So
I can tell you now he's definitely not playing.
That's a good thing for us. I'm afraid that's a very good thing for us because he
Yeah.
always bullies our defenders. So, Simon, thank you for coming on. Where can they follow
No
you?
problem. Thank you very much. Yeah, you can follow us at Turfcast Podcast for the page, and my personal Twitter is at Simon_Townley.
Thank you very much for that. So it's Burnley against Arsenal. I'll leave a link to his personal Twitter in the description, and also Toughcast Twitter and YouTube. Let's hope we get a victory here. Burnley won't get relegated. Arsenal probably won't finish in the top 6. I'm hoping so. So both teams will probably end somewhere between 9th and 14th there or something. So as of now, thank you for watching. Keep staying safe, and I'll catch up with you guys later.